Hi, welcome to WMD, that's Woody's Modelling Diary. And following on from my video about randomly painting stones the therapeutic way, and you may recall that's what sort of we ended up with. I did say at the time it would be weathered down. That does look very much like a sort of new build rather than something which has stood for 50 or 100 years. And just to give you insight as to what we'll end up with, it'll be something like that. And that's quite a simple process. All I'm doing with that is using diluted black paint. I just use an old paint jar, one of the old Tamiya clear ones. That was the large one. As you can see, I use the top as a bit of a palette and never cleaned it up, but that doesn't matter, it's the contents which count in this case. And generally it's about 10 to 1, so 10% black paint and 90% water, and you can put a small drop of washing up liquid in just to break the tension down a bit. And having mixed it up, I tend to do a James Bond and shake rather than stir. And using a sort of sable brush, which is quite flexible, soft bristles on it, let's break that. All I do is quite literally just paint that on, and what you've got to remember with this, if you've just really got to do one side at a time and let gravity do the work, it will in effect take the paint down into the various brick courses and the relief in the stones to give you that sort of weathered effect. And don't be afraid to sort of go back over areas if you need to. Sometimes it's better to do a little bit less rather than more, because you can always add, but it's difficult to take away. But quite literally, and it does frighten you when you first do it, because you think, oh my good grief, what have I done here? But gravity and a bit of warmth will do the job for you. And that's one side done, which has literally taken about a minute. Too worried about the recesses of window frames, because I've got window frames which will go into that and cover that. So what I'm going to do is leave that to dry, and we'll come back in a few minutes and see what the finished result looks like. Well, quite literally it's about 10 minutes on from when I put the paint on, or the wash on, and it's more or less dried, and that's the finish that we've got. You could add more to that, but I think that gives a reasonably good weathered surface, certainly when you compare it to that. And also took the opportunity just to, I've already sprayed the doors and windows, but I've done a couple of the window frames on the outside and the inside of one of the doors, and you can see it just gives it that little bit of depth to the detail and that sort of worn look. And quite simply, it's a few seconds with some black wash. Not really any skill involved. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But there you have it. I hope that's been of use to you. So if you've got a building which has got some relief on it, and you want to move away from that new build look to something which looks a little bit more aged and worn, try one of these black washes, or you could even do a sort of grey or a brownish wash, depending on what you wish to bring out in the model. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it's been of interest to you. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, bye.